morning, squad. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Mad Mizzy Sports Morning Show, the number one spot for everything sports talk, sports debate, sports news in the morning. And our rundown today is, of course, breaking down Thursday Night Football. We have another terrible Thursday Night Football matchup that's followed by that terrible matchup we had last Thursday of the Indianapolis Colts at the Denver Broncos. Tonight, we got the Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. They started off Thursday Night Football with a bang, but they've been dying down lately. You feel what I'm saying? But moving off of Thursday Night Football, we're going to move into the Davante Adams being charged with a misdemeanor assault situation and what that means moving forward. After moving on from Davante Adams, we're going to move into basketball. And does the Zion Williamson injury last night concern me a little bit moving forward? Then we got to touch on, are the Lakers already done with a Pat Bev and Russell Westbrook situation arising already? This is only preseason basketball, baby. Only preseason basketball, and we already got a situation. But last but not least, before we get out of here, we got to touch on the major matchup of the Alabama Crimson Tide at the Tennessee Volunteers this Saturday. And does Bama have a shot of winning in Tennessee without Bryce Young? Let's get right into it, gang. Now, to start it off, we got to break down Thursday Night Football. We got the Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. Two very average teams, two teams that I do not see making the playoffs this year. Two not average, below average teams. So for me, the key matchup tonight is going to be is if the Washington Commanders can keep contained on Justin Fields, keep him in the pocket, make him a pocket passer instead of being an athlete on the field, making a whole bunch of plays outside the pocket, doing this, that, and the third. If they can keep him in the pocket, especially inside the red zone, they should be able to win this game. But if they let him run wild and go out there and be the playmaker that he is, and their defense is putrid, so it wouldn't be surprising if he does go out there and does what he does, then it's going to be a tough time for them. It's going to be a very tough time for them. And another key matchup is going to be if that Washington Commanders offensive line can keep that Chicago Bears defensive line off of Carson Wentz's back. Carson Wentz is the number one sack quarterback so far this year. Then you think about last year, he played behind that putrid Indianapolis offensive line. He's just been getting absolutely demolished over the past 3 years behind these offensive lines, and him holding the ball, not getting the ball out, always trying to make big plays. So they're going to have to protect Carson Wentz. They're going to have to contain Justin Fields. But if they do that, I think that the Washington Commanders have a slightly better team from top to bottom. So I'm a lean towards the Washington Commanders. Then you also think about Carson Wentz is, I believe, 6-0 on Thursday Night Football. So I'm going to see him going to 7-0 in a low-scoring matchup. I'm going to say 17-12 Commanders. Let's move on. Davante Adams has been charged with misdemeanor assault for shoving a credentialed cameraman as he was crossing Davante Adams' face after Monday Night Football game in Kansas City. What does this mean moving forward, and what's the big picture? The big picture is just be careful if you're an athlete. That cameraman didn't deserve to be shoved to the ground, but I also think that cameraman had other people in his ear. That cameraman had people that said take advantage of this situation. So you got to be careful of stuff like that, especially when you're a huge superstar like Davante Adams, just got a new contract. You got to realize that you're in the limelight like that. But that cameraman didn't have to go through that, shouldn't have had to go through that. And honestly, I feel like Davante will just learn from the situation. It'll be I'm not going to say a win-win, but Davante, his reputation won't be totally smeared because of this. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't super egregious. He was frustrated, shoved him to the ground. You can see he paused right then and there, like almost thinking about it like, damn. But I mean, it is what it is. Charged with a misdemeanor assault. He has no history of assault, violence, any of that. So I'm not looking for anything from Davante Adams moving forward. And as far as that, the cameraman, hope he's feeling better, but I definitely feel like somebody got in his ear like, yo, take advantage of the situation. Davante Adams just got a new contract. He just got shoved to the ground. That's assault, boom, boom, boom. So that's just what I took it as. Moving on from the NFL, let's shift our focus into the NBA and Zion Williamson injury last night. Does it concern me moving forward? How could it not concern you moving forward? The man has missed, a season and a half since he's been in the league for only 3 years or 2 years. So, I mean, the time he's missed in comparison to the time he's actually been on the floor, then you come back, you're already hurt this preseason. You missed all last year. Then he's coming out and joking. I guess they're all doctors. Like, no. At the end of the day, you're hurt again, brother. You're a big dude. You're super athletic. You're landing wrong. This is a concern. You get what I'm saying? We seen Derrick Rose because he wasn't landing properly. And you have a way bigger body frame. You got a lot more weight landing on those knees. So I'm very concerned with him moving forward, especially if he doesn't take it serious to the point where, like, you joking and you laughing. It's like, bro, if you tweak your ankle again, you just recovered last year. That should be concerning to you that you got hurt last year. You sat out all last year, had all this offseason to rehab, and you already have an ankle tweaked in preseason. That should be concerning to you, not just the fans. I'm definitely concerned moving forward. Let's move on to the Pat Bev and Russell Westbrook situation. So during the timeout last night, Pat Beverly wanted to get a huddle together between all of the Lakers that were on the floor at the time. It was Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook on the floor with Patrick Beverly and two other players. And Russell Westbrook was the only player that decided to define Patrick Beverly's request of coming into the huddle. Even when Anthony Davis came over and said, Russ, come into the huddle, Russ just stood at the free throw line. I ain't going over there. Does this situation indicate that the season is already over for the Los Angeles Lakers? I'm going to say no, but it indicates that the season is over for Russell Westbrook with the Los Angeles Lakers. That man is going to be gone before New Year. Point blank, period. You can't go out your way to keep a sports rivalry alive when y'all on the same team. You can't go out your way to keep this friction between you and Pat Beverly still going just because. Like, what are you doing? Like, to me, that was just super immature of Russell Westbrook to sit up there and, no, I ain't going over there in the huddle. He want to talk about the how y'all just broke down and gave up that and one, or just gave up that foul. You get what I'm saying? He want to talk about the defensive communications real quick, and you over there pouting about something that happened 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And we know Pat Bev done did some stuff, but it's like, bro, you got to let that go. Or the Lakers going to let you go. Because they didn't bring Pat Bev in for a reason. They didn't bring in Dennis Schroeder for no reason. You get what I'm saying? So, for me, Russell Westbrook has to look at himself in the mirror and ask himself if he wants to be the best teammate he can be. Because he's definitely high on being the best Russell Westbrook he can be. As far as like him and his limelight and him scoring and him rebounding and him assisting. But is he willing to sacrifice his personal numbers to become the best teammate he can be and for the Lakers to become a real true title contender? No, he's not. And that was clearly shown last night when you refuse to come to a huddle to communicate with your teammates about defensive communications because of a dispute that you had with another player years ago, or back and forth, a little beef that you got with a player that's just all basketball beef. Pretty sure y'all ran into each other multiple times in the offseason. Nothing ever happened. It's all basketball on the court, competition-wise. Let it go, Russ. Let it go, or the Lakers going to let you go, which I see them getting prepared to do already. I don't think there's anything he can do about that now, especially after last night. Let's move on to Saturday. Since tomorrow is Friday, I'm going to be breaking down my Niners game. I'm going to be breaking down Michigan hosting Penn State. We got to touch on the Tennessee Volunteers hosting the Alabama Crimson Tide today. And does the Alabama Crimson Tide have a chance of winning in Tennessee without Bryce Young if he can't go? I say absolutely not. When you look at Hendon Hooker and the Tennessee Volunteers, what they did to LSU last week was just amazing to me. I've been watching college football since I can remember. And ever since I can remember, Tennessee has never been good. They are dominant. Not good, they are dominant. They move the ball at will. Then you think about the previous game. They beat Florida with ease. They're undefeated. They are not coming in. Alabama is not coming in off of barely beating. Who did they play the week before? Was it Texas A&M? I forget who they played the week before. They barely got a win out because of a terrible fourth down call. They're not coming into Tennessee and beating that Tennessee Volunteers team without their Heisman candidate, Bryce Young. They're not doing it. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be close if Bryce Young can't be close to the Heisman candidate, Bryce Young. If he's a shell of himself, don't even play him. Don't even throw him out there, because they can recover from a loss. But they can't recover if Bryce Young suffers or further injures his shoulder and then he's out for the season. Then it's over. So for me, if he's not close to being at 100%, hold him back, take this L on the chin. Because they're not going into Tennessee and beating Tennessee without Bryce Young. Sorry. Hendon Hooker is too good. That offense is too proficient. And that defense is too opportunistic. They're out there like a bunch of rabid dogs trying to get that ball back to Hendon Hooker. With that being said, I'm going to definitely lean towards going with the Tennessee Volunteers this Saturday in that huge matchup. I'm going to say it's all dependent on Bryce Young, though. So I'm going to come back. I might give y'all a little Saturday, Mad Missy Sports Saturday special and break down those games, especially once the injury reports come out and all that. But right now, I'm leaning towards the Tennessee Volunteers to pull out that win against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bama just hasn't looked like Bama thus far this year in any of their games. So it's going to be very interesting to see which way that game goes and if Tennessee can actually stamp that they're back. Y'all know what it is, though. Mad Mizzy Sports Morning Show, episode 32. Close this week out on a strong note. Happy Thursday. Mizzy World Entertainment. Like, comment, share, subscribe, alert. Gang.